My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. This is the only channel dedicated to UFC fight picks and DraftKings lineups run by MMA insiders and professional fighters. Every week, I join Dan Kramer and Nick Newell, two longtime professional fighters that have fought at the highest levels on the planet, as well as Jacob Lyons, a skinny kid from Indiana. So join us every single week for our full fight card breakdowns, our individual fight card breakdowns, our betting guide, and our DraftKings lineups. UFC Vegas 33 had a bunch of weigh-in issues, bunch of fights canceled. I think we've had 3 different co-main events. It's a disaster, but we still have some solid bets for you. So we are going to walk through our bets for UFC Vegas 33, Hall versus Strickland. We're going to talk in units. Units can be any amount of money you're comfortable betting. This will just give you an idea of how comfortable we are with a specific bet. And go to WeWantPicks.com/bets to get the best possible match you will ever get. First up, I have Danny Chavez at plus 105 money line. It's him versus Kai Kamaka, 2 big-time strikers. This will be a striking match. They both have power. I think Danny's got more power, better footwork, and he definitely has a better chin. He's never been put out or wobbled, where Kai Kamaka has been put out a few times. I see Chavez getting it done. Then I have Ronnie Yahya. Our man, we made a ton of money off of him last time. I'm hoping lightning strikes twice. It's grappler versus grappler. He is the better, more decorated grappler. He also has power in his hands. You know, I don't think he's the more technical striker, but he's got more power in his hands. He's the veteran. He's got better grappling. I think he gets that done as well. I got that at plus 116. And then I have a few prop bets. In the main event, I have Hall versus Strickland going over 3.5 rounds. Strickland is just going to march forward, throw a million strikes. And I think Hall evades, throws a big strike, evades, throws a big strike. I think that will go on for a little while. Then the next bet, this fight is canceled. Nico Montana, former UFC champion, missed weight by 7 pounds, an absolute disaster. I imagine she's going to be cut. That fight's done. I loved that freaking bet too, which sucks. Then I have Uriah Hall wins inside the distance, but a decision is no action. This is my favorite bet. This is basically saying Uriah Hall is either going to knock out. If Uriah Hall knocks out Strickland, I get paid plus 130. If it goes to a decision, which is the more likely outcome, I get a refund. No skin off my back. I get my money back. No big deal. And that's the way I see this fight going. Strickland either touches up Uriah Hall for 25 minutes or Uriah Hall catches him and knocks him out. So either one of those situations, I get my money back or I win money. I threw a half a unit on that. You're only going to get that at WeWantPicks.com/bets. That's my favorite type of prop. Then I have Chavez Kamaka under 2.5 rounds plus 160. This is basically does not go to a decision. I lose a few minutes there, but does not go to a decision was like minus 260. So I'm getting real plus money here for what will probably be a firefight. And then my final bet is Rafa Garcia versus Chris Gutzmacher under 2.5 rounds. Exact same logic as the one before it. Gutzmacher has no chin whatsoever. None. Rafa has got jiu-jitsu and power in his hands. I actually put 2 units on that. I'm very conservative, so 2 is a lot for me, which means I might have jinxed myself. Danny boy, why don't you walk through yours?
Sure, yeah. So I see you in all fairness, there's not much space left on the screen. That's probably the first problem. But you removed my bet, which is very similar to yours, that I liked with what's her name inside the distance.
Montoya or Montana, or whatever.
Well, thank God that fight got canceled because based on the way she looked at weigh-ins, neither of us were going to win our bet. But I did the same thing. Wins inside the distance, decision, no action. And the way I saw it, I was like, her opponent is never going to finish her now after seeing her weigh in. That might have happened had they let the fight go on. But I still got plus odds. And if she got a finish, it was like plus 140, I think, or something like that. So anyways, whatever. Missed opportunity, but glad they canceled it instead of letting it go. All right, so let's go top to bottom. Ronnie Yahya, plus 114. Angelo already talked about it. This guy is a world-class grappler going against a guy who predominantly is also a grappler. I will say his opponent does appear to have decent striking, but it looks like wrestling and grappling is in his DNA. So I think it's going to be tough for him to formulate a game plan and stick to it where he's just sticking and moving. And I think if he does go for takedowns, he's going to be in trouble. And Yahya could also take him down. Yahya also throws bombs. So I think there's a lot of ways Yahya can win this fight. The one concern you always have with him is he going to tire out in the later rounds? But I just think you match up their skill sets. Yaya is better at where this fight is most likely to end up, which is on the ground. Thomas Peterson, this is an LFA bet, minus 185. This is actually a tip from my buddy Bo, Mr. Robert Miller on Twitter. Check him out. We talk fights all the time. Good dude, a lot of good insight. So I just straight up tailed him on this one. So look into it if you like it. He's been right more than he has on a lot of things we talk about. So I tailed this one, thought I would share it with you and give him a shout out. Next, I got AJ McKee. Jumped on this a couple days ago. He was plus 100. I really like him at even money, whatever, plus odds, even money. I think this is going to be a very close fight. I think, you got this up and coming guy who could be a superstar. And the X factor is always the wrestling. He can control where the fight goes. So even money in a close fight where you got the wrestler, I like that. I like those odds. So I got a unit on that. Uriah Hall. All right. So we talked about this in our earlier breakdown. And actually in the comments, a couple, actually, DFS Me My Money, one of the coolest usernames ever, wrote a comment to me and said, because I had said in the video, Strickland is very hittable, and he corrected me and said, hey, listen, he's got a 70% striking defense accuracy. So to clarify what I meant, everything is styles, right? Styles being matchup. I think in this fight, he could be very hittable, especially early on if he does his walk forward, pressure, volume type fighting. He's always got his hands here. And really, his offense has been his defense a lot of times. He's just peppering you so much that you can't even get a strike off, and you're getting tagged up and you're backing away. So, but against a guy like Hall, who is big for the weight, athletic, powerful, and moves pretty well early on, I think, especially when he's got his reaction time and speed, there is an opportunity for Strickland to get clipped with a big counter shot if he comes forward like that with his hands down. So, small bet. Threw a flyer on it, a quarter unit on first and second round KO for Uriah Hall. And then that kind of parlays into my next bet, which is Hall plus 5.5 points on the scorecards, plus 130. I just think Hall is live. So if he wins this fight by knockout, I cash that bet. If it's close at all, he basically has to win. The math is you get 5.5 on the judges' scorecards added to Uriah Hall's score when they tally them all up. So it's not quite 2 rounds on each judge's scorecard. It's less than that. Anyways, if this is a close fight at all, you will cash that bet plus 130, and you get the benefit if he does win by knockout or some other way. So took that in a fight that I think is going to be closer than people are predicting. Then I got Garcia Gruchmacher under 2.5 rounds. I think Rafa Garcia is going to walk through Gruchmacher. This fight feels to me like the UFC is saying, hey, sorry about your UFC debut on short notice against one of the toughest strikers in the division. By the way, you looked great because you stood and struck with him for 3 rounds and won a lot of the exchanges. And on short notice, you weren't able to get it to the ground, where that's where he's a really specialist. So this feels like a makeup fight. They're throwing him a favorable matchup. I think he should walk through Gruchmacher and get a finish. So I got under 2.5 rounds, plus 110. And then I jumped on it earlier in the week as well. Rafa Garcia wins inside the distance at plus 160. I have 2 units there. Again, I think he's going to get the finish, whether it be by knockout or submission. I don't know what that line's at now. I think we do need to figure out a way to get you these bets earlier in the week before the line moves, so you can really capitalize on it. So we'll work on ways to get those out. Next up, I got Anglin Baghdasaryan. Fight does not go the distance, plus 100. Everyone knows Baghdasaryan comes out guns blazing in that first round. He goes for broke. So whenever you do that, he's live for a finish early on. He's also live to get tired and get finished by Anglin. So even money, basically, that somebody gets a finish in this fight. I like that, 3/4 of a unit. And then last, I got Brian Barberena wins inside the distance, plus 100. This is the one that feels like it definitely should happen, but there's part of me that's just like, it almost feels like a trap bet. A lot of intangibles, a lot of different things going on around this fight. Barberena just coming back from a surgery that apparently he almost died from. Tons of different things and factors, but if all things were normal, Brian Barberena should be able to, if not defend the takedowns, get up very quickly. And in all reality, Witt has been knocked out by a jab. He's been knocked out by a couple other shots, so his chin is suspect in this fight. And Brian Barberena hits harder than a lot of the guys that have already knocked out Witt. So I like him to get a finish inside the distance here, plus 100. I threw a unit on that. So I did not see weigh-ins today. I've heard there are a lot of different things. I'm going to go tune in later on. I'll probably be adding some bets to this based on those weigh-ins and just looking for some last-minute props. So we'll post those in the comments or whatever. So be on the lookout in the comments. Shoot us some questions. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. But let's make some money, and appreciate everybody supporting.
Let's take a look at Jacob's bets. So Jacob has a few here. I don't agree with all of them. He has Sean Strickland wins by submission plus 1,000. I do not agree with that. I just don't see how that's going to happen. But he loved those odds, so he threw it on there. Then he has Garcia Grutzmacher does not go the distance plus 100. That is a very good bet. Rafa Garcia wins by submission plus 300. Listen, it's possible. We keep talking about Grutzmacher's chin, but Rafa Garcia is a very good grappler as well. So wins by submission is possible, plus 300. I guess worth the risk there for him. And then he has Anglin Bogdasarian does not go the distance. Two young guys doing their true UFC debut coming off Contender Series. As Dan mentioned, Bogdasarian goes nuts. Anglin is his own striker. Jacob actually, after the weigh-ins, texted us, Anglin's a bum. I'm changing my lineup. So this should still work well for him if he's going does not go the distance. So check out our bets, wewantpicks.com/bets. We'll see you Saturday.